Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Doing a video in my car like a real YouTuber right now. I just wanted to talk real quick about the technocracy agenda and transhumanism and how this stuff is tying in with what we're currently seeing politically with like Donald Trump and Elon Musk and even RFK Jr. It's pretty amazing what they've done, at least from my perspective. It seems like they've used Donald Trump and Elon Musk and their propaganda campaign, which was in contrast to political correctness. They kind of came in and started saying things that for the last decade or so, it wasn't politically correct to say, and you didn't want to say it in public. People were getting canceled for saying certain things, and then Donald Trump just came in and was like, fuck that, I'm going to say whatever I want. And people respected it, and especially the kind of the more patriot movement, the more conservative base in America really like ate that stuff up. And they love him, they love Elon Musk and stuff. And what that has done was it's allowed the system, which just uses Donald Trump as like a tool. Same with Elon Musk. They're just these actors, left and right. It's like it's all the same agenda. But what they've been able to do through Donald Trump and like through his campaign being so effective was to disable and make it so the entire base of the country that would be resistant to the things that he's implementing in order to further the technocracy and like establish the infrastructure necessary to do everything they want to do. He's made it so those people just accept it, and like they're not critical of anything that he's doing. They're just like, oh, well, it's Donald Trump, like he's our boy, right? He's got our backs. Elon Musk has got our backs. But they're ignoring like the incredibly obvious signs that, dude, they're not good dudes. They don't care about us. Like, what's the idea that the richest guy in the world just wants to, like, all of a sudden just help everyone and, like, help the government spend less money and, like, make it so, I don't know, people are more prosperous? It's like, dude, you're the richest guy in the world. You could have done all kinds of things to make the world a better place, like, by yourself. But all he does, it's always in alignment with more technology, more technological control over the masses. It's always that. Like, for example, just a couple things that Elon Musk could do where it's like clear that he could have been that dude to make this shit happen. Like, he's the owner of Tesla, right? And Tesla, the car company, is named after Nikola Tesla, the inventor. And something that Nikola Tesla wanted to do was provide the world with free energy. He created this thing called Wardenclyffe Tower. It was funded by JP Morgan. And the idea behind it was going to extract energy from the ether, and then he was going to be able to send it around the world wirelessly, and then everybody would just have free energy. More or less, that was like the summary of what was happening. But when JP Morgan found out that he wasn't going to be able to put a meter on it, then he pulled the plug. He made it so he wasn't able to do that. Well, now you have the richest guy in the world who is using Nikola Tesla's namesake to sell his cars. Well, why isn't he putting money aside to create like a new Wardenclyffe Tower? If he's so benevolent and he's so concerned with making the world a better place and helping people to prosper, why isn't he using his own money to provide the world with free energy? And then the same goes with Donald Trump as well, because Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump, was this big mathematician, professor into like electrical engineering and stuff. And he's actually the one that went in and took all of Tesla's notes when Nikola Tesla died. So he's very familiar with Tesla's work and the things that he did. But instead of them taking Tesla's research and using it to do something benevolent, instead his technology has just been weaponized and it's being used to control the weather. I think they used it to blow up the Twin Towers, but I'm not going to get into all that stuff. I just want to point out that these people who are acting like they're like on our side, there's just so many things they could have done to prove that, but they haven't. They're just all talk. It's like they just talk about doing certain things, but they never do them. But they're so confident, and the way they do it with their mastery of language and the neuro-linguistic programming and kind of just the magic of words, it allows them to continue saying all this stuff and not doing any of it and like doing the complete opposite, but people still support them. So it's a pretty amazing phenomenon, and it's crazy just to see the stranglehold and the control of people's minds that this group has right now. fucking Donald Trump and Elon Musk. People just like eat it up. And I just want to talk about how this is all by design. I'm on to you. This battery's about to die, so I'll pick up on this in a little bit. Okay, it's cool. I'm back. So yeah, Donald Trump and like Elon Musk, they kind of just, maybe they have some good things they're trying to do at heart. Maybe they mean well. But to me, I see them just kind of furthering the agenda and being used for all of the reasons I previously stated. But another thing I wanted to touch on real quick is the people that have kind of been put out there and are being used now to make justifications for the things that people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing. It's like there's this whole segment of the supposed truth movement that totally supports these guys and they're into it. And it's like, oh, it's all part of some bigger plan, and like they're playing chess, not checkers, and they're just so smart. This is the way they got to go about it, to drain the swamp and battle the deep state and kill the Satanists and whatever. And then some of these guys just seem to pop up out of nowhere, and then they always seem to not talk about certain things. And I think it's kind of wrong to condemn someone for not talking about something, but you do have to take that into account, because the way that these people do it, whether it's in Hollywood or it's in newscasting, broadcasting, music, whatever, there's certain things that people know not to talk about because they know it'll get them in trouble. They know it's going to mess up sponsorships or deals, or where they get their stuff posted or whatever. So it's like, you got to be careful about where you're getting your information from, because there's so much disinformation. There's like a whole industry that's surrounding conspiracy narratives. And there's these people that get up there and they make a career out of it. And it's pretty amazing. And it's like, it seems like they only touch on a topic when it's no longer of any relevance. Like when you can't really do anything about it, when everybody's already kind of like, it's already taken its place in the public consciousness, and you're not going to remove it. And the people that have seen through it have already seen through it. So it's like you kind of miss the opportunity for it to be of any significance what you're talking about. Like there's no more repercussions to be had, and it doesn't really matter anymore. But people will come out like years later and start talking about stuff that other people were talking about immediately and getting ridiculed for it. But all of a sudden this dude comes out like 5 years later and starts talking about it, and he's some kind of hero. So you got to be suspicious of these types of people, and at least be like, all right, what's up with this guy, you know? I don't know if I trust this dude or gal or whoever it may be. So yeah, I find that strange, and you see it a lot, especially with the popularity of, TikTok and Instagram and like X, and there's just, there's always a certain narrative that's being pushed, and you'll realize that there are certain things that people choose to talk about and other things they choose not to talk about. And one thing that I think really gets overlooked is the whole chemtrail agenda, right? Like, because that blows the lid off of the climate change thing, which a lot of people seem to be seeing through. But if you take into account the existence of weather modification as well, then any climate change data is irrelevant, because it's incomplete. You're not taking into account a huge part of the data, which is people messing with the weather. And it's not only about weather control, the stuff that they're spraying in the sky. And the stuff they're spraying in the sky isn't the only way of controlling weather. There's also radar installations and antennas, and it has to do with electromagnetic frequencies, and it's this whole fucking network. It's crazy. Involving universities, private companies, things like that. But it also has to do with changing you and changing the entire environment, covering it with these little nanobot type of computers and sensors, so they're like always have an eye on everything. They're always taking data of everything. It's to do with like the Internet of Things and the smart grid, but also to get this stuff inside of you and to control you. And you see, going back to like Trump and Elon Musk, like Elon Musk is the dude who's supposed to normalize this type of technology and make it seem like it's cool and make it seem like it's some sort of benefit to humanity, and that we need to do this stuff, or else artificial intelligence is going to take over or something like that. So it's like, it's just crazy to see what's happening with this. Like, on the one hand, you have the current administration, which is totally going about this agenda, which people have been trying to expose for years, and like, they're doing it actively, talking about it. Of course, he didn't campaign on it. He didn't talk about any of this shit while he's trying to get elected. But now that he's in there, he's doing it, and he's effectively disabled the entire segment of the population that would normally be resistant to that through his whole MAGA movement. And then you have like the implementation of the technocracy stuff, while Elon Musk is making it seem like it's cool and it's like to help us or whatever. And then you have the people who are supposed to be the truthers that are like supposed to be talking about this stuff and at least criticizing it and being critical in some aspect and trying to point out what's going on. But then they support it too. So it's like, what's up with these motherfuckers? Like, how are we supposed to trust them? And they're the ones who like get promoted by the algorithm. They're the ones that get the coverage. Meanwhile, people that are doing the real work, they get throttled and shadow banned by the system. So that should tell you something. And they even get shit on by the fake truthers. So it's crazy, man. But at the end of the day, it's like most people don't care about any of this stuff. They're just going along to get along, trying to go to work, make some money, come back to their family, get fucked up on the weekends. I don't know. They're trying to be entertained, do drugs, get drunk, watch porn, all that stuff. So, but it doesn't hurt to talk about it, right? Some people still are interested in this kind of stuff, so that's the reason why I wanted to make this little video in my car in true YouTuber fashion. We'll see if how long this like remains up or if they mess with it. They've been kind of like, I know a few videos have been removed from my YouTube channel. I don't know if I have any strikes or whatever. That's why I kind of haven't like been caring about YouTube, but once in a while I'll post some music stuff. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I need to come out and start talking about things and just giving my perspective on stuff, because what else are we here for, right? Do all this research and try to understand stuff. Might as well share it with people. So if you find value in this and you think it's cool or whatever, at least give it a like, drop a comment, share it maybe. And I'll keep doing it more. I'll probably keep doing it more regardless. So thanks for checking me out. Peace.